Well, good morning to you. Good morning. It's Monday, the 12th of November 2018, and when the going gets tough, the tough go shopping. Well, in true Harry style, I've managed to get here about 3 minutes before the shop opens. And it's raining. Yes, it rains in France. Shopping trolleys. If you want to use a shopping trolley here, you need to have a coin to put in the trolley to release it from the rack. A 50-cent coin or a euro coin, or what I've got in my pocket is a round plastic disc supplied by supermarkets for that very purpose. Right. Yeah. I'm going to go and... it's only a bit of essential shopping, drop of milk and things like that. Nothing exciting. Well, now there's a funny development. There I was happily doing stuff, and a very drowned young lady from the post office, La Poste, came walking up my drive. Yeah, well, I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not going to open this on live video. Well, I was right to be nervous opening this letter. I recognised the handwriting and I knew it came from a comedian of the first water. And yeah, he shall remain secret. But look at this. St Eloy, patron saint of model railways. Obviously, there he is in his workshop in 1380 in Amsterdam, making model railways, obviously in 1380. And there's a reproduction of a postcard from Saint Eloy les Mines, which I suspect is somewhere, Puy de Dôme. I'll have to look up exactly where that is. But yes, post arrives in France, and for the record, it takes, well, it was posted on Thursday, but Thursday, yeah, quite late in the evening. So, yeah, it takes a few days for things to get here, but it was a weekend, so that's fair enough, isn't it? Well, it's become necessary for me to pop out to some other shops. So I'm going to the town of Mézières-en-Brenne. Not a very long trip, but a different road. Bit of a winding road. As you can see, it's raining. It's actually eased off quite a lot. The clouds demonstrated that it certainly knows how to rain here. Of course, the thing that you lot miss that I don't is some of the things that happen all around you while you're driving. I've just seen a kestrel fly across the road at not much more than car height, carrying for what looked very much like a mouse. Needn't have been a mouse, of course, could have been a shrew or something, but yeah, and there's absolutely no chance of filming a thing like that. And this is the sort of countryside we've got here. We've got eagles, we've got all manner of wild birds, birds of prey. And yeah, just to see them as you're driving along the road is an absolute joy. And yeah, we're leaving a town. One of the things about towns here is there's always a sign that tells you when you're leaving the town limits, as it were. So that's the town of Paulnay, or the hamlet, I suppose. And we've got about 5 kilometres to go to Mézières. Look at all the mistletoe in that tree. The trees are such gorgeous colours this time of year. we've got warning signs at the side of the road. This next sign tells us that for the next 3,000 metres there's a possibility of deer running across the road. I rather hope they don't. I've had it happen to me once, but that was a few years ago further south. But it's always a worry that you could suddenly find a deer in the road in front of you. Bad for the deer, pretty bad for the front end of a car. And the gorgeous colours. Now those trees, what wonderful russets they are. It's sort of stopped raining enough that I'm quite happy to stand out here and just take a quick film of this war memorial. A very defiant looking soldier standing on top of a memorial to the children of Mézières-en-Brenne, the people who were born here, who fell. Now, this of course was built to commemorate the First World War, and as we've just had armistice parades, it's got fresh wreaths upon it. And of course the general horror of all of these memorials, names, too many from the town, too many from the same family. I say too many, I think one is too many. And sadly, of course, there's also a memorial to those from the town who were killed in subsequent wars. This is the town square of Mézières-en-Brenne. Oh, that's useful to know. André Roy, Doctor Vétérinaire, if you need a vet. That's the vet's house. There's a few little shops here, and one in particular that I wish to go into, and it's not the hairdressers. One of the things you find is on Monday mornings, towns tend to be fairly quiet. Quiet, very lovely place. But as you sort of walk back to the car, you walk past something and you just have to stop and look. Look at that tucked away, hidden sort of tower, and all those pigeons sitting on the roof. Yeah, it's little things like that it's. You can probably visit this town 100 times and miss things like that. What a delightful place. Mézières-en-Brenne. A lot of this work is actually, that dreaded preparatory stuff. You can see that I've cleaned some of the plaster and the paint off there, and I've knocked out what was left of cement in there. The iron around the front, which presumably was intended to keep the concrete in place on that step, the iron had of course contributed to the problem. And the problem with a house like this is that moisture will permeate up through the stone. It will cause iron to rust. So yeah, I've done what I needed to do there. I've cleaned up the piece that fell off. The next trick is to drill a hole somewhere about there to take some studding. I said before, in sort of 120 years time this job will need doing again, but I'll let someone else worry about that. Well, that was fun. What I've done, I've drilled 2 holes and blown them out as best I can with a vacuum cleaner, blowing instead of sucking. I've cut 2 little stubby lengths of reinforcing bar, and I've used this fantastic stuff. Yeah, you only really get sort of 2 shots with this and then you walk away and just let it cure, which is what I'm going to do now. Well, and make tea.